Well, happy Monday, everybody. We are back with the Strat-O-Matic 1987 American League replay, every game played. We are at game number 393. This is the first game on the June the 10th date. We're at Memorial Stadium, Boston Red Sox and the Baltimore Orioles, of course, going east to west. So even though it's not the glamour matchup, obviously, it's the first one on the docket. So that's what we deal with. The Red Sox and the Orioles. Starting pitchers for today's game. Al Nipper, a right-hander, is on the mound for the Red Sox, and a left-hander, Eric Bell, on the mound for the Orioles. Red Sox won this game real world 15-4. Oh, don't tell me we had circles in the sand first thing coming back. That would be rough. But as I was saying, Boston won the real game 15-4. Al Nipper has a +4 hold rating, and Sullivan's a 0, so he's a +4. So the Orioles don't steal a lot of bases anyway, but maybe there's somebody in there that might try to steal with that +4. Eric Bell is a net 0, as he's a 0, and Kennedy is a 0 as well. So 21-37 for the Red Sox, 22-35 for the Orioles. So again, not the glamour matchup, but that's the first game on the schedule. Now, the next game tomorrow will be a glamour matchup. We'll be at Yankee Stadium for the Blue Jays and the Yankees, and it'll be Jimmy Key trying to keep his record perfect in that one against Tommy John. A couple of lefties going at it. Trying to get back in the swing of things. Been away for a week, so hopefully trying to get some normalcy back into things after being away for a while. Ice is still out there. It's going to be 38 degrees today, supposedly, with sunshine. So hopefully that'll break up or at least loosen up some of the ice in the driveway that I can go out with a garden shovel, not a snow shovel, with a garden shovel. I'll go out and break it up with it. But it's got to be loosened up or else it's just too thick and won't go anywhere. So really, really hoping for some warm. It's actually supposed to get in the 40s, I think, tomorrow. So, but at night it's still going to be down near 20 degrees. So whatever's melted is going to refreeze. So not a whole lot of relief there, but we'll take it, as opposed to having ice and stuff going through everything. Before we get started with the game, of course, before the first pitch, we have the ceremonial first sip. And now we'll get ready to go. Eric Bell, I'm going to bring up the game up on the Strat computer before I start anything else so I can score it. Let's get the full numbers for Eric Bell on the replay. Well, first of all, in real world, in the 87 season, he was 10-13 with a 5.45 ERA. On the replay, he is 3-4 with a 6.63 ERA. So a good 1 point higher. 56 innings pitched, 54 hits, 30 walks, and 43 strikeouts. The 30 walks in 56 innings, that's what's kind of done him in. That's way too many walks. That's almost one walk. That's more than one walk per 2 innings pitched. So you're not going to do very well with that. Ellis Burks will lead us off for the Red Sox. He's hitting 246 on the replay, 7 homers, 16 driven in. He had 272 real world. And after a week hiatus due to the weather and other circumstances, we are now back. 110 against the lefty, and that's a solid single for Ellis Burks. He's one of the few Red Sox that might try to actually steal, or at least try to get a good lead. 5 or a 6 will obtain the good lead. And it gets 6, he gets the good lead. So it starts as a 19, being held as a 17. Bell's 0. So 1-17, he'll make it. The T rating on Kennedy is only a 2, so not much of a risk to throw down. So you might as well throw down and try to get him 1-17. And they do not. So Ellis Burks steals the base. Stolen base, Ellis Burks. See what he did real world versus the replay as far as steals go. In the real season, he stole 27 bases, got caught 6 times. In this replay now, that is stolen base only number 2, caught stealing once. So he hasn't had a lot of opportunities to steal. Maybe that'll pick up later as we go along, as he didn't come along the scene until pretty much in May. So he's got the rest of the season to try to get those numbers up. So here's Marty Barrett. Marty Barrett hitting .310, no homers, 10 driven in, 293 on the replay. With runner at second, nobody out. He's an A bunter, but I hate giving up outs on bunts when you already got a guy in scoring position. So there's going to swing away. Maybe try to get him to third base if you can. 5-4, and against a lefty, or against a righty here for Barrett, it's a catcher X, and that is Kennedy. He's a 4-E-4. 4-11. So we'll go to our catcher chart on the defensive charts. Put my coffee out of the way. Don't want any coffee stains on the charts. All right, so we've got a 4 and an 11 for a catcher, and that is a P/F. So that's a possible pass ball here. 10, and he's an E4. That's not going to be a problem there. So we go to the P/F, and we're going to be using the wild pitch rating of the pitcher to determine if it's a pass ball or not. Well, the wild pitch rating on Bell, I forgot to write those in on the score sheet, so let me go to the computer and get those. For Bell, his wild pitch rating is a 13. His balk is a 2. So I'm going to re-roll the D20. If it's a 1 to 13, we have a pass ball. If it's not, then the play will be made by Kennedy. And we get a pass ball after all. So going to third base will be Burks on the pass ball by Kennedy. Rough start here for the Orioles. Barrett still at the plate. First inning, they're not going to play the infield in with nobody out. They're going to do a swing away. So just a basic ground ball could get a run in. Here's Barrett. 5-8, and that's a strikeout. That won't get a run in. So Eric Bell with the strikeout. And there is one away. Here's Wade Boggs. Infield still back. First inning, we're not going to. They're going to try to limit it to 1 run if possible. Boggs on the replay hitting 345, 11 homers, 28 driven in. He hit 363 in the real season. 5-9, lefty. That's a fly ball center field B. That's good enough. Sacrifice fly on that fly ball B. And coming in to score. Right now it's an unearned run because of the pass ball, but we'll see if it holds up. Another base hit would make that earned. But the Red Sox will take it. They lead it 1-0. That'll bring up Jim Rice. 283 on the replay, 4 homers, 24 driven in, rather. Hit 277 real world. 6-4, and that is a fly ball center field X. We're looking at Mr. Fred Lynn. He's a 3-E-3 for Fred Lynn. 3 and 10, he'll get to that. E3, the only errors on an E3 center fielder. Let's get that out. The only errors when you're an E3 center fielder, 3, 16, and 18 are the only errors, and that's a 7, or yeah, it's just a 7, so no problem there. Play is made, and the Orioles do limit the damage to 1 run. So we played half an inning here at Memorial Stadium. Red Sox won, and the Orioles will be coming to bat. And that is now an official unearned run that is going to be put against Eric Bell. So his ERA won't hurt, but his run total did. So Al Nipper, the right-hander, is going to start things off for the Red Sox. He is in the real season was 11-12 with a 5.43 ERA. On the replay, he's 4-7 with a 6.59 ERA. 71 innings pitched and a whopping 89 hits allowed. So that's he's given up a lot of hits per innings pitched. Let's see here. Nipper is 6 wild pitch and 0 balk. There we go. Gotta get those numbers in. Get the pass ball number on Sullivan as well. Didn't write that in, so I can have that for advance. He's a 14. Wow. Okay, so 14 for a pass ball for Sullivan, so that could come into play. So if we're checking either on the Havoc roll, either wild pitch or pass ball, you got Nipper's a 6 wild pitch and Sullivan's a 14 pass ball, so that could certainly factor in. Hello, Justin, David, and Chuck. Good to see all of you. Justin, I do prefer the Super Advanced. I don't like the Advanced because to me it gave me too many errors. When I did the Advanced, I was getting way too many errors for my liking. But it's to each his own. That's why I say play the game the way you like to play it. All right, Lee Lacy will lead off. He's hitting 299 on the replay. 4 homers, 11 driven in. He at 244 real world. It's a 4-11, and that's a ground ball first base X. We're looking at Romero. He is playing first base today in place of Buckner against the lefty. Romero is a 4.25, so he's no prize at first base either. 4 and a 17. That should be interesting. I think he got a break there with the 17, obviously. 4 and 17 is a G1. That's a 10, and he's an E25. There's a 9, 11, 12, 14, but no 10. So Romero ekes that one out. He'll flip it to Nipper covering for the first out. Shaky start, but he gets the job done. That's all that counts. No style points. Here's Fred Lynn. Usually he's further down the order, but they've got him batting in the second spot in this game. Fred Lynn on the replay inning only 226, 15 homers, 31 driven in. He at 253 the real season. That's a 5-8 against Nipper, and that's a fly to center. So 2 down. And here is Cal Ripken. Ripken hitting 230 on the replay. 7 homers, 26 driven in. He at 252 in the real season. 3-8 for Ripken is going to be a base on balls. First walk issued by Nipper. Ripken no threat to run. He will hold. And here is Eddie Murray, first baseman. Murray hitting 298 on the replay. 12 homers, 33 driven in. He at 277 real world. Nothing on the havoc. 5-9 switch hitter is a fly to left, and Jim Rice will haul it in, and that'll do it for the Orioles. So at the end of 1, it's Boston 1 and Baltimore nothing. Of course, Boston won the real game 15-4. So far, don't have that kind of offense yet, but there's still 8 innings to go. So coming out, Eric Bell, and he'll be facing designated hitter Don Baylor. Baylor, the DH, hitting 244 on the replay. 5 homers, 27 driven in. He at 245 real world. This is 1987. 1987 American League only replay. You can tell it's 87 just from a glance because the back of the cards had that infield. It's the only year they ever did that on the basic side. All right, so Eric Bell facing Baylor. That's a 3-10, and that's a fly to left field, 1 away. Baylor is retired. And that'll bring up Dwight Evans. Dewey hitting 352 on the replay. 13 homers, 43 driven in. He only at 305 real world, but he's been doing well in the replay. 1-7. Might do well again. 1's a home run. That's an 11. That'll be a double for Dwight Evans. Evans cracks his 16th double of the season. 1-out double. And here comes Ed Romero. He is playing in place of Bill Buckner because he's right-handed against the left-hander Bell. So I guess McNamara going for the platoon advantage. Plus to give him a chance to, give Buckner a day off and whatnot. So, and David, I'm just getting back into payoff pitch as well. I hadn't played it in a while, but I am doing my 1972 Steve Carlton replay and payoff pitch. And the next game of that will be coming up very shortly against the Giants. All right, here is Ed Romero. Romero hitting 313 on the replay. No homer, 10 driven in. He at 272 in the actual season. 4-7. And that is a walk. So that's the first walk issued by Bell. And again, that's been one of the bugaboos of Bell. That's walk number 31 in just 57 innings. So a lot of walks being issued by Mr. Bell. And here comes Spike Owen, the shortstop. Owen hitting 200 on the replay. A homer and 6 driven in. He at 259 real world. Switch hitter batting right-handed against Bell. Bell looking for that tailor-made double play if he can get it. 6-5 is a split chance. 1's a single. Anything else he lines to short. So that'll be a liner to Ripken for out number 2. Now it's going to take it to Mark Sullivan, catcher, number 9 hitter. Not a very good hitter. He hit one. He's hitting 181 on the replay. 2 homers, 10 driven in. He hit 169 real world. Clutch situation. So he does here against in the clutch. He loses a couple of hits, 3-6 and 3-10. He will lose those hits here in the clutch against Mr. Bell. 1-7, and he struck him out, and that's going to end the inning. Second strikeout for Bell. Couldn't have come at a better time. And Bell pitches out of the mess. We go to the bottom of the second. Still 1-0 Red Sox. Nipper back out. He'll be facing Sheets, Knight, and Kennedy for the Orioles. Hitting 300 on the replay. 10 homers, 20 driven in. He hit 316 real world. 6-8, and that's base on balls for Mr. Nipper. Second walk of the game for Nipper. Sheets, no threat to run, though. He'll hold. Here's Ray Knight. The only season Ray Knight played with the Orioles was 1987. He was with the Mets in 86 and went to the Tigers in 88. So this was his one lone season with the Orioles. Knight hitting 238 on the replay, 6 homers, 20 driven in. He hit 256 real world. Nothing on the habit. 1-5 against the right-hander is a ground ball shortstop A, and there's that Giovanni's Tailor Shop. Tailor-made double play right there, 6-4-3. Couldn't have scripted it any better if you're Nipper. Giovanni's Tailor Shop sponsoring that double play. They're in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. If you're ever in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania, check them out. Tell them Demo sent you. They might give you a discount. Giovanni's Tailor Shop, the unofficial sponsor of the Demos channel. But the tailor-made double play came into play. And now here's Terry Kennedy. Kennedy hitting 228 on the replay. 11 homers, 25 driven in. He hit 250 world. Base is clear now for Nipper. And that is a leaner, so I'm going to re-roll that. The white die was not flat all the way, so I'm going to re-roll that to 2-7, and that's going to be a single for Terry Kennedy. Kennedy with the base hit. He's definitely not going to go anywhere. And here is Mike Young, designated hitter. Young hitting 238, 3 homers, 12 RBI on the replay. He hit 240 during the actual season. That is a 3-6, and that's going to be a 1-8 double. That's a 17, so fly ball to right field that Evans hauls in, and that'll take care of the Orioles in the second. We played 2 from Memorial Stadium and still 1-0 Red Sox. I'll tell you one thing I did enjoy on my little hiatus, and there wasn't much of it that I enjoyed due to the weather and everything, but one thing I did like was watching other people play on YouTube. So I enjoyed watching other guys do their thing. Unfortunately, well, maybe it's fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know, but for my taste, I consider it unfortunately, but there seems to be more chatting and discussing on YouTube than it is playing. But I prefer watching games being played rather than hearing people talk about whatever it is they want to talk about. But some people are very successful at it, so more power to them. It's just not my cup of tea. No, Justin, Mr. Guterman has, I guess, gone on a significant hiatus from playing, so that's kind of why I'm taking his spot now, because it's open. And if he ever comes back, I'll step away and pick a different time and let him do his thing. But a lot of times when he did play, he was like at 6 in the morning. That's way too early for me. All right, here's Ellis Burks. Burks single. Stole second and scored his first time up. Can't ask much more of that. You can't ask much more from a leadoff hitter than the single, steal a base and score. 3-6. This time he strikes out, though. Third strikeout for Eric Bell. And Tabby is in here. She's just on her little blanket over there, so I'm not even going to bother her. Let her do her thing. Here's Marty Barrett. Struck out his first time. 5-7, and that is a 1-9 double, 10 or higher, but that's a 6, so that will be a double for Barrett. Marty Barrett. His 7th double of the season. He had 23 in the actual season, full season, but he's got 7 so far. And here's Wade Boggs. In fact, I haven't seen Mr. Goodman even come into this chat for a couple of weeks, so I hope he's doing okay. All right, here is Boggs. 1-8, lefty, and that's a single. There's an anti-clutch here, but there are not 2 outs. So the anti-clutch does not cancel this base hit. This base hit will stand. It is a single to center. Barrett's a 15, not being held as a 16, and Lynn has a 0 arm. 1-16, they're going to send him. And since Boggs, this is my house rule, since Boggs is a 13 or less, or 12 or less, not a 13 or higher, he cannot take second on the overthrow. My house rule is the runner has to be 13 speed or higher to take the extra base. So they're going to go ahead and throw home. Doesn't risk him anything. It is a 1-16 to score him. And he does score. So it's an RBI single for Wade Boggs, makes it a 2-0 ball game. I know the rule book technically says that the runner on first is supposed to, or the batter is supposed to advance on the overthrow, but when a slower runner, I just don't think would do that very often. So that's my house rule. I just picked 13. That's my cutoff. All right, here's Jim Rice. Rice, the batter. 1-6, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 4 for Eric Bell. I think Strat and other games kind of lend themselves to certain home brews that just tweak things, not remake the game, but just kind of tweak them to your liking. Here's Don Baylor. Baylor flew to left field his first time up. 6-6, and that is a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Ripken. He is a 2E20. 2-14, he'll get to that all day long. E20 and a 13 at shortstop. There's a 15, 16, and 17, but no 13. So nice play for Ripken. And since there's 2 outs already, we'll just say he throws it to first. But the RBI single from Wade Boggs gives the Red Sox a 2-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the third. Hey, Jeremiah, nice to see you. All right, so Al Nipper back out. And number 9 hitter Rick Burleson steps to the plate. Burleson hitting 210 on the replay. No homers, 4 driven in. He hit 209 real world. That's a 4-6, and that's going to be a base on balls for Nipper. And again, Nipper having trouble with the control. That's his 3rd walk already. Burleson, no threat to run. Top of the order for Lee Lacy. One 1-5 for Lacy, and that is going to be a fly ball to left field. Jim Rice will put that away. 1 down for Fred Lynn. Six, and that's going to be a ballpark blast at Memorial Stadium. Our first time going to Memorial Stadium. 1-11 are home runs for lefties and righties. That is an 11 right on the number, and that is out of here. A 2-run home run from Fred Lynn has just tied this game. If I was playing robbing home runs, this would be a case where you could take a chance at robbing home runs, but I'm not getting that much into it. That's just one of the rules in Super Advanced I don't use. So home run for Fred Lynn. 2-run shot. I mean, right on the number. Let's look at it again on the replay here. 6-6, left-handed. Ballpark blast. Of course, Fred Lynn has normal power. 1-11 at Memorial Stadium, and that's an 11. So home run for Fred Lynn, his 16th home run of the replay. He's got the power stroke going for sure. He only hit 23 real world in the whole season. And at bat number 188, which is not even half of his total at bats, he's already got 16. RBI's 32 and 33. And we got a tie game at 2. Didn't take long for Al Nipper to give up that lead. All right, here's Cal Ripken. That's a 4-8, and that's a 1-11 double. So Cal Ripken will follow with a double. And Nipper getting in some trouble here in the third inning with one out. Here comes Eddie Murray. Saw this game on the schedule. I was hesitant about putting it online because I knew it was going to be a slugfest, an ugly game. But what are you going to do? 6-6, and that's a ballpark blast again. And once again, it's gone. A 2-run home run for Eddie Murray. That ballpark blast does in Al Nipper again. Eddie Murray, a 2-run home run. Orioles lead it 4-2. And for Eddie Murray, that is home run number 13 on the replay. RBI's 34 and 35. He had 30 home runs in the real season. So he's pretty much, he's a little over 1/3 of the way through the replay. So he's definitely in a good pace for home runs, no question about it. Al Nipper not in a good pace for home runs. He's getting blasted. 4-2 now, or 4-1 actually 4-2. Some reason or other the run didn't score for the Orioles, for the Red Sox in the first inning. I don't know why. I got to go back and fix that, obviously. I'll just fix it to the totals at the end of the game in the team stats. I'm not going to worry about this game stats. All right, here is Larry Sheets, 2 outs, or actually it's still just 1 out. 4-4 for Sheets, and that's going to be a strikeout for Nipper. That's that first strikeout for Nipper in the ball game. There's a dot there, but of course he's not tired yet. And here's Ray Knight. 6-5, and that's an in-home run, 1-17. He does have normal power, and that's gone. Ray Knight takes Al Nipper deep, the 3rd home run of the inning for the Orioles, as they are peppering Al Nipper to no end. 6-5 is an in-home run, 1-17, a triple 18-20. That's a 3. He's got normal power. So for Ray Knight, home run number 7 on the replay. RBI number 21. He had 14 home runs real world. So home run number 7 for Ray Knight, and it's now a 5-2 game. And now Al Nipper is showing tired. So if we hit the dot now, that will take effect. 1-4, and that's a pop out to short to end the inning. But a quick 5 spot for the Orioles, and they lead it now 5-2 over the Red Sox. And you wonder how long Al Nipper can go with a tired arm or ineffective arm, whatever you want to call it. But the Red Sox are going to try to get at least one more inning out of him, not have to tax that bullpen any more than they really have to. So here is Dewey Evans. He doubled his first time up, trying to get the Red Sox back in the game. 2-9. Ground ball to short. Ripken will take care of it, 1 away. Like I said, I know this is not a glamour matchup. Of course, tomorrow is the good matchup. It is the Yankees and Toronto. But they can't all be good matchups. If you're going to play every game, you got to play the snoozers and losers as well. There's Ed Romero. 3-10 for Romero against the lefty. He will fly to left. So Eric Bell looking to possibly garner a win if he can make it through 5 innings. With the lead and the team can hold it, he'll garner a win and go to improve to 4-4, even his record up. Spike Owen. 3-11 for Owen against the lefty, and that's a ballpark single check. It's only 1-3 at Memorial Stadium, so he will line it to short. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Eric Bell, so Al Nipper did not get a lot of rest in between innings. He got blitzed pretty well. Hello, RJL. Yes, we have the coffee. Trying to get back to a semblance of normalcy. This is the first step in that. And I noticed that Inside Pitch Advanced has the 2025 season. I believe 64 was also one of them there. But I went to the Inside Pitch part, and I noticed the Inside Pitch, the standard inside or basic Inside Pitch, whatever you call it, the 2025 set is not available for that yet. So I'm not sure how long that's going to take. But I know most of his work is in the advanced section now, but be curious to see how long it takes him to actually get the 2025 regular, what I call basic inside pitch season put out there. Here's Mike Young, 6'5", and for Nipper, 1 to 18 is a home run. That is gone. Boy, Nipper's going to have to leave this game very shortly. That's yet another Oriole home run. Look at it again, 6'5", 1 to 18 is a home run, and that's an 8. And, of course, Mike Young has normal power. For Young, home run number 4 on the replay at 16 real world. RBI number 13. Orioles now lead at 6-2. And the Red Sox bullpen is stirring. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. I figured he'd concentrate on the old game and kind of leave the old game out there blowing in the wind. All right, so let's see. I've got a lot of seasons of the old ones, so I'm okay with that. Let's see here. Let's go to the Oriole bullpen and see who's got some rest. Looks like Tom Bolton is roughly got decent amount of rest. Gardner's kind of been overworked. Crawford's a little more overworked than they would like. So it looks like Tom Bolton loosening in the Red Sox bullpen. And he does have a fatigue of 3, so he could certainly go a ways if they can. Let's see if the Nipper should at least be able to get Rick Burleson out, you would think. Oh, we got Hop and Dice. 5-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. We're looking at Barrett, 2E11. He should be able to make that play. 217 is good all day long. That's a 7 on an E11, and only 15, 17, and 18. So he will make that play to retire Burleson for the first out. I'll flip the order over to Lee Lacy. Nipper has gotten Lacy out twice, so they're going to stick with Lacy. But I think Bolton's going to come in and face Fred Lynn. That's a 2-5 for Lacy, and that's a ground ball to short, or out number 2. And that's going to be it for Nipper. Nipper is going to end up going 3 2/3 innings, giving up 6 runs. They were all earned. And 4 home runs were a part of that. He also walked 3, which was not good. Gave up 6 hits. And I believe he only struck out Larry Sheets. That was his only strikeout. So not a very good outing for Mr. Nipper. And now Tom, don't call me Michael Bolton, will be coming on to pitch for the Red Sox, a left-hander. He was 1-0 with a 4.38 ERA. He did pitch 62 innings and give up 83 hits real world, so not exactly a shutdown guy, but maybe innings eater is kind of what they're looking for. So Nipper will depart, and we'll bring on Tom Bolton. Nipper in danger now, dropping to 4-8 on the season. Bolton coming on. On the replay, Bolton is 0-0 with a 5.18 ERA, 24 innings pitched, 34 hits, 9 walks, and 22 strikeouts. He inherits a 2-out bases empty situation, so it should be to his liking against the lefty Fred Lynn. 6-7, and it's a ground ball right back to Barrett again. And that is a 15, so he'll get to that. That's a 10, so he will make that play easily. And that'll end the inning. But that'll do it for the Orioles and the Red Sox and now Nipper. He is completely not in good shape as he is on the losing end of a 6-2 ball game. Eric Bell needs this 5th inning. He needs to pitch to complete the 5th inning to get qualified for the win. Got to go 5 innings or else it's up to the official score. All right, here's Mark Sullivan. Sullivan struck out his first chance. 2-8, and he'll strike out again. That is strikeout number 5 for Eric Bell. And again, my house rule, no substituting, unless there's a pitching change, no substituting before the 7th inning. And the original starter's back in there, so even though Sullivan sucks, he's going to get his at-bats. Now, when it gets around to him again in the 7th inning, then obviously we'll pinch hit for him. Here's Ellis Burks. 6-6, and that's going to be a ground ball to Ripken at short. He's a 2E20. 2 and a 4. That could be nip and tuck. Let's see here. 2 and a 4 is a G3. There's a pound sign, but nobody's on base, so no worries there. The infield wasn't in. That's a 13, and he is an E20 at shortstop. There is no 13, 15, 16, and 17, so nice play for Ripken as he retires Burks. 2 down for Marty Barrett. Barrett struck out and doubled. 4-7, right-handed, and that's a base on balls for Eric Bell. And I believe that's his second walk of the game, rather. Second walk for Bell to go with his 5 strikeouts. 2-out walk. Barrett could try to get the lead, but they're down 6-2, and you got Wade Boggs at bat, so I don't think you want to run yourself out of an inning there. So they will have Boggs swing away. He is 1 for 1, a sacrifice fly and a single. 4-4, and that's a ballpark single check, but it's only 1-3. That's a 7, so we'll keep the original fly to left to end the inning. And now Eric Bell is the official winning pitcher of record, assuming the score stays with the Orioles in the lead the entire time. So Bolton back out, and he'll be facing Ripken, Murray, and Sheets for the Orioles in this 6-2 ball game. Ripken is 1 for 1, a walk and a double and a run scored. 1-7, and that's a home run 1-5, but that's a 14, so yet another double for Ripken. Second double of the game, 11th double of the replay. He had 28 doubles in real world. So he's right on about, he's at about 1/3 of his at bat, so that's about right for doubles for his pace. Here's Eddie Murray. Homered his last time up. And he's got a turnaround bat right-handed against Bolton. 6-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Spike Owen. He's a 3E17. 3 and a 4, that's trouble. They were not holding Ripken on. 3 and a 4 doesn't matter. It's a single. So it's a single, 1 star, so they can't score the run unless there's an error. That's a 10. E17, no 10. So it's a single 1 star, puts runners on the corners with nobody out. And the Orioles looking for more. That'll bring up Larry Sheets. Red Sox infield. Well, you hate to bring the infield in with the bases, with nobody out. So they're going to play back for the double play. Give a run to get 2 outs, so be it. 3-9, lefty, and that's a fly ball to center field B, ? Potential sacrifice fly. Center fielder Burks is a 0 arm. Ripken runs at a 14, so with the B ? You add 2 to that, makes it a 16. So 1-16, they're going to send him home. 1-16, and he's in there. Sacrifice fly for Larry Sheets. So it didn't matter where the infield was on that one. It was a good sacrifice fly. Orioles now lead at 7-2. Murray, of course, holds at first. Double play would get Bolton out of the inning now. 111, and that almost got a Lomax out of that. 111 is actually a ballpark single check, which will fail. So that's going to be a liner to short. Almost got that Lomax. So 2 down for Terry Kennedy. That's a 4-7 lefty, and that's a single center field. Murray will not challenge the arm. They'll just play it station to station as a 2-out single. I mean, he could have possibly done it, been 1-15, but at this point, I don't think they want to push anything. Here's Mike Young. 6'11", switch hitter batting right-handed. 6'11" is a ground ball pitcher X right back to Bolton. He is an E0. His range is a 3. So he can't make an error, but we'll roll to make sure there's no rare play. There is not. So it's a 1 to 3. So basically on a 1 to 3, he needs a 4 or higher to make this play. And he does. So it's good play, and that will end the inning. But a run comes in. It is now 7 to 2. Favor of the Orioles. Wait, what's going on here? Hold on. Okay, it's got to move him to third. All right. So Eric Bell is going to come back out. He has not reached fatigue yet. He's actually pitching pretty well. So he's going to come back out and face Rice, Baylor, and Evans. 3 tough right-handed hitters. He's gotten Rice out twice, though. 1-6, and he struck him out again. So 6th strikeout for Bell. He's pitching well in this one. Maybe the run support helps him. Here's Don Baylor, designated hitter. He's also 0 for 2. 5-5, and he's going to fly to center. Fred Lynn is there. He's now 0 for 3. And with the exception of the walk to Barrett here, he has really controlled the game. Here's Evans since the end of the third inning. 4-7, and that's a walk. That's the first base runner allowed in a while. That's the 3rd walk issued by Bell. 2-out walk probably won't hurt him too bad, you wouldn't think, because Evans is not going to go anywhere. And here's Ed Romero, first baseman. Romero 0 for 1 with a walk. Not exactly a dangerous hitter. 5-6, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. Strikeout number 7 for Bell. They may get 7 innings out of Eric Bell. That would be interesting. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Orioles seemingly in control, 7 to 2. And that'll bring up Burleson, number 9 hitter. Quick check on. Oh yeah, she's Tabby's just laying on her blanket. She's all happy as a clam. All right, here is Burleson, 6'7". Ground ball shortstop X. And that is Mr. Owen. He's a 3E17. 3 and a 15 is good. E17 and an 11 at short. There is no 11 there, so good play for Spike Owen to take care of Burleson. 1 away. And they're going to get as many innings out of Bolton as they possibly can. Try to save the bullpen for the rest of the week. Here's Lee Lacy. 4-8, and that's a single for Lee Lacy. 10th hit for the Orioles in this game to go with their 7 runs. Lacy not going to try to steal. Bolton is a -1 arm, by the way, so not that really is going to matter at this point. I don't think the Orioles are going to run in this situation. The score being what it is. Here's Fred Lynn, 1 for 3 with a homer. 5-8, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. They weren't holding Lacy on, so Owen keeps his 3E17. So potential double play. 3 and an 8. That's iffy. 3 and an 8. 3 and an 8 is a G3 pound, but since they weren't holding the runner on, he'll get to it. The only play will be first base. That's a 9, so he will make the play, but his only play is going to be to first base. So it's a 6-3 ground out with Lacy taking second base. So Lacy does get into scoring position with 2 outs for Cal Ripken in technically a clutch situation. Ripken in the clutch is going to going to gain a hit on 3-9 and on 2-2. So he gains a couple of hits. That's a 3-9, and that's exactly where we were. 3-9 is going to be a base hit now instead of a fly out to center. And again, might question how clutch is it when it's 7-2, but Going by the letter of the law, it is a clutch base hit for Cal Ripken. Automatic 2-base advancement by the runner. And the Orioles now lead it 8-2. RBI single from Cal Ripken due to the clutch factor. Some people don't like the clutch factor. I just add something to me, so I leave it in there. Here's Murray. 3-11, and that is a ballpark single check, 1-3, so he's going to line it to short. That will end the inning, but another run by the Orioles, and they now lead it 8-2. Go to the top of the 7th. Bell's going to come back out for potentially his last inning. It'll be Owen, Sullivan, and Burks, but we may go ahead and let Sullivan hit because it's 8-2, and it really doesn't really matter at this point. Might as well get him his at-bats. 4-10, and that's a ballpark single. Again, 1-3, so that will be a fly to right field for Spike Owen. One away. I don't think down 8-2 in the 7th inning, you're going to bring in a pinch hitter and magically get your offense booted around. So they're going to let Sullivan hit. He needs to get his at-bats in. I can't keep pulling him every single time like that. He's got to eventually get his at-bats. He's got to have he's supposed to have 160 at-bats at the end of the season. Right now he's got 74. 5-5, and he's going to hit a fly ball to center field. So it didn't matter at that point. It was off the pitcher card anyway. So that would have been a waste of a pinch hitter had I done that. 2 outs, base is empty now for Ellis Burks. 1-5 for Burks. He'll draw the base on balls. And for Bell, that is his 4th walk to go with 7 strikeouts. Again, good base runner is Burks, but down 8-2, I don't think you're going to be running anywhere. Here's Marty Barrett. 1-7 for Barrett. That's a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. Wow, Eric Bell pitching very well. But we'll cap Eric Bell. I usually don't like to have a guy go more than 2 innings past what his fatigue is unless he's pitching a shutout. So we're going to go ahead and cap Bell at 7 innings. He's going to give up 2 runs, 4 hits. Only one of the runs was earned because that pass ball produced that run. He walked 4 and struck out 7. And they'll bring in Ken Dixon to mop up the Orioles and finish out the ball game. Ken Dixon, he's got a relief rating of 3, so he should be able to knock that out pretty quickly. So he will be the new Oriole pitcher in the top of the 8th. Right now, 7th inning stretch time, but we're going to keep on flowing as Bolton will be facing Sheets, Knight, and Kennedy. Sheets, Knight, and Kennedy due up against Bolton. 6'4", lefty. Catcher X, that's Sullivan. He's a 3-E1. That's one thing he can do is field. He is a good fielder. 3-3. Check that out. Nobody's on base, so there can't be a pass ball or anything like that. 3-3 is going to be a ground ball in front of the plate. No wild pitch, though, because nobody's on base. And that's a 9, and he's an E1, so that's not a problem. So just a 2-3 ground out, a little dribbler in front of the mound. And they will retire Larry Sheets. That'll bring up Ray Knight. Knight homered in his second at bat. He's 1 for 3. 3-7 for Knight, and that's going to be a strikeout. Knight is out of there. 2 down for Terry Kennedy. And Bolton can very well pitch him all the way through the 8th inning to save the rest of that bullpen. 3-8 for Kennedy is a strikeout. So Bolton pitching very well in relief. Doing what they ask him to do, which is eat up these innings. So we go to the 8th inning. It is still 8-2. And the new pitcher for the Orioles will be Ken Dixon, starter and reliever during the season. He was 7-10 with a 6.43 earned run average, and now we'll bring him into the game on the computer and see what he's done on the replay. Ken Dixon on the replay is 2-2 with a 4.93 ERA. He had 5 saves real world. He's got 3 saves in the replay. Of course, this is not a save situation, but it is a saving innings situation, if you want to call it that. So Wade Boggs will lead things off. Boggs is 1 for 2. 6-10. Ground ball third base. We're looking at Ray Knight. He is a 4.23. 4 and a 6. That could be trouble. Not sure he's going to get to this. 4 and a 6 is a base hit. That's a 13, and Ray Knight is an E23. And there's also a 13 here, so it's going to be a single plus an error on Ray Knight. Single plus the error. And that'll put Boggs at second base with nobody out. And here comes Jim Rice. That's a 3-8 for Rice against the right-hander, and that's going to be a base on balls. So, rough start for Dixon as the first 2 have reached. Here's Don Baylor. Of course, a Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play would take care of a lot of sins. 1-6, and well, it's not a tailor-made double play, but it is an around-the-horn double play. 5-4-3 double play. Just what the doctor ordered for Ken Dixon. Going to third is Boggs, but that's almost irrelevant at this point. That definitely is a pitcher's best friend. 5-4-3 around the horn. 2 quick outs now with Boggs standing at third. And that brings up Dewey Evans. That's a 2. Chance for a balk or pass ball. We're looking at the balk rating of Dixon, so let's see what his balk rating is. Dixon has a wild pitch rating of 10, balk rating of 4. So 1 to 4, he would balk in the run. He does not. So here comes Evans. 5-7, and that is a ground ball second base X. We're looking at Burleson. 4.18, not very good. 4 and a 2, that's going to get through for a base hit, no question about it. 4 and a 2 is going to be a single. It's 2 stars, but Boggs is already at third, so it doesn't matter. RBI single from Evans. Now we're checking Burleson. He's an E18, and that is an 11. Second baseman E18. There is no 11 there. So 13, but no 11. So RBI single from Evans does at least salvage one of the runs. Cuts the lead to 8-3. And here's Ed Romero. But they will pinch hit for Romero. They will pinch hit for Mr. Romero with Buckner. So Bill Buckner, now that a righty is in the game, will pinch hit here in the 8th inning and stay and play first base in the 8th inning. So Romero leaves and Bill Buckner comes on. And we'll see what Buckner can do. Bring him on in the computer. Romero, not exactly a quality thing here. He was 0 for 2 with a walk. Didn't provide a whole lot. Actually, no, they're saying, I'm looking at my computer, it says Buckner's now on the roster, so we're going to have to fix that. I don't know if he's in. I guess he's injured. I don't know what the story was on that, but Strat Computer is telling me Buckner is out. I'll have to check that out later. So we're not going to go with Buckner. We're going to have to go with somebody else. They will go with Greenwell. Greenwell will hit. Pinch hit here in the 8th. And what they may do is move Dwight Evans to first base. I don't know. Do they have anybody else that can play first base? Nobody else on the bench. Let's see if there's anybody in the lineup besides Evans that can play first base. Boggs could, but then you need a third baseman. So they're actually going to move Boggs to first base. And after Greenwell hits, they will bring on for a new third baseman. They will bring on Glenn Hoffman to play third base. So Hoffman will come in and play third base in the 8th inning. And of course, Boggs started, I believe he started his career back in the early 80s, switching between first base and third base. So it's not totally foreign for him to do that. Right now, Mike Greenwell is going to hit, though. So we bring Greenwell in on the computer and see how he's doing. All this to hit for Romero. All right, so Greenwell hitting 306 on the replay, 10 homers, 23 driven in. He hit 328 real world. 2 outs, and Evans still at first base. 1 run is in to cut the lead to 8-3. Greenwell 1-7, and he will ground it to second base to end the inning. So now coming in to play third base is Glenn Hoffman, and switching over to first base will be Wade Boggs. And Boggs at first base is a 4.25, so not very good, obviously. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and Bolton still got some energy left, so they're going to let him try to finish the ball game, or at least through the 8th inning, assuming that's the end of the game. And it doesn't go to the 9th. Then he would certainly save their bullpen from extra work. So now the Strat computer is telling me to make my defensive changes, so we're going to put Boggs at first base, and we're going to bring in Hoffman to play third base in Greenwell's spot. Everything else stays status quo. All right, so here's Mike Young. 5-6. That's a base on balls for Bolton. Red Sox really don't want to use another pitcher if they can avoid it. Here's Burleson. He's terrible. Normally you'd have him bunt, but I'm not going to bunt with an 8-3 game. We're just going to have him swing away. 6-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. And the shortstop in this case is Spike Owen. He's a 3E17. Possible double play here. 3-15. It's a good chance for it. 3-15 is the ground ball double play chance with a G1. That's an 8, and he is an E17 at short. There is no 8 there, so this is a Giovanni's Tailor Shop, tailor-made double play. Second one of the game that the Orioles have hit into. Giovanni's Tailor Shop sponsoring that double play. 2 quick outs. And that'll take us to the top of the order for Lee Lacy. He's 1 for 4. 1-9, and he's going to draw a base on balls. Yet another walk by Bolton. Computer is telling me Bolton has not yet reached his fatigue, so we're going to let him keep going. Here's Fred Lynn. And if he did reach fatigue, I'd probably still have him going. Just try to get out of the inning and get out of this game. 3-8, and that's a fly to center to end the inning, so Bolton's going to do it. Bolton's going to go 4 1/3. And not pitch all that poorly. Go to the Strat computer and get his numbers. Very nice relief outing for Mr. Bolton. 4 1/3, 5 hits, 2 runs. So not bad at all. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. But looks like Mr. Nipper is going to fall to 4-8 unless there's a miracle comeback. It's an 8-3 game. Ken Dixon back out to finish it out. We will pinch it for Sullivan this time around. So it'll be Spike Owen to lead it off, but then they're going to have Rich Gedman pinch hit for Sullivan. Although Gedman's not much better, but just for the heck of it, we'll have Gedman pinch hit here in the 9th inning. All right, so Spike Owen will step up for the Red Sox against Ken Dixon. 4-7, switcher batting left. That's a 1-3 triple. That's an 18, so just a deep fly to right. That is hauled in by Lacy. 1 down, and now the pinch hitter, Rich Gedman, is going to make an appearance, get him an at-bat. Only guy left on the bench is Dave Henderson, a right-hander. So Gedman will get the pinch hitting call. Gedman on the replay hitting 169, no homers, 10 driven in. He hit 205 real world. Sullivan was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. 110 for Gedman, and that's a ground ball to Burleson at second, 2 down. So last chance saloon, it is Ellis Burks. Red Sox in danger of falling to 21 and 38. Al Nipper falling to 4 and 8 and having his ERA skyrocket. 5-7, and that is a ground ball second base X, so it's Burleson. One more chance of 4E18. Uh, 4 and a 7. 4 and a 7 is a G3 pound, but nobody's on base, so G3 is not a problem. That's an 8, and he is an E18. Yep, no problem there. He makes the play, and the ball game is over. So Ken Dixon finishes out the ball game. Does give up a run, but that's pretty meaningless at this point. It is earned, even though the error happened to put him to second. The walk would have put him to second anyway, so the run does count, or it counts as an earned run. He gave up 2 hits, walked 1, didn't strike anybody out. The winner is Eric Bell. He is now 4 and 4. The loser is Al Nipper. He's now 4 and 8. So we get to our final line score. We'll go to the box score. Wrap this thing up and get you ready for Yankee Stadium tomorrow morning against the Blue Jays. Final line score, 8 runs, 11 hits, and an error for the Orioles. 3 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Red Sox. Player of the game, I guess you give it to Eric Bell. He went 7 innings, only gave up 2 runs. You could give it to Ripken. He was 3 for 3 with 2 doubles and a single. I mean, all sorts of guys there. Murray 2 for 4 with a homer. Different things there. But I'm kind of leaning toward Eric Bell because he was behind 2-0 in the third and then just turned it around totally. Only gave up 1 earned run through 7 innings. So Eric Bell, to me, is the player of the game. So Buckner was inactive 6-8 to 628. Thank you for that. I'll make that note so that I pull him and I'll see who I'll check their roster moves and see who they brought up to take his place. We'll see who that's going to be. And I'll put him in the minor league envelope and bring up whoever they picked in the real thing. So, but that's the game from here. Game 393 is in the books. Tomorrow we'll be at Yankee Stadium. It'll be the Toronto Blue Jays and the and the New York Yankees, rather. 2 lefties, Jimmy Key and Tommy John, going at it. And Jimmy Key, of course, in the replay has been the best pitcher in the league by far. And we'll look at his numbers as he heads into the next game. He is 12-0, is Jimmy Key. He is 12-0 with an ERA of 1.27. 13 games started, 6 complete games, 3 shutouts, 106 innings pitched, 73 hits allowed, 27 walks, and 77 strikeouts. So he is 12-0. And for the Yankees, Tommy John is 3-3. So it'll be 3-3 Tommy John against 12-0 Jimmy Key. That'll be the game tomorrow, game number 394 from Yankee Stadium, which Toronto won in real world 4-1. So that'll be the game tomorrow. Hopefully it's a little bit closer than what this game was. I kind of had a feeling this game wasn't going to be the most exciting game in the world, but like I said, it's on the schedule, so we play it. And then we just take our chances and hope it's a decent game. So it's good to be back. It's good to get back into hopefully a routine. It's going to take more than one game to get me in a routine, but hopefully now that we got some semblance of order. It is supposed to be 38 degrees here today for a high with sunshine. So we've still got a big strip in our driveway, which is an uphill driveway that is a sheet of ice. So very hard to get out of there. So hopefully with this 38-degree weather, some of the area in the driveway has melted and some of it has been really lessened where I can get in there with a garden shovel and break up the ice and whatnot. So I'm going to go out there this afternoon when it warms up into the, above freezing, then I'll go out there and see if I can break some stuff up so that tomorrow, because I do have an oil change appointment to go to tomorrow afternoon, so I want to be able to get out of the driveway pretty good. So I'll be doing that, and hopefully not doing the Paul Simon slip sliding away, because on that ice, it's no joke. It's a very helpless feeling when you start slipping on that ice and you can't control what's going on. So I did fall twice the other day when I was trying to clear some stuff, but fortunately, the one time I hit my head and fortunately there was no damage done to the driveway because my head's very hard. So fortunately, no damage done to the driveway, and we'll see about clearing that stuff out later. So I hope you all have a great Monday, whatever you have planned for your week. We are now in February. Thank goodness January is over. That was an awful month with the weather. I certainly hope February is a little bit better than that. So good thing about February is, if you're a Strat-O-Matic fan, opening day or the first chance to make pre-orders is tomorrow. Don't know if I'm going to do anything with that because they don't really have any seasons there that I'm really, just enamored with getting. Plus, I just spent a lot of money in that stay-in motel, so my budget kind of got hit there pretty good, because those places aren't cheap, especially when you have pets. They charge you extra for pets. It's almost like charging for an extra person, because it's just something else. But when can't leave Tabby in what we thought might be a cold house with loss of power, but the ice never came as much as they thought, and power stayed on the whole time. Thank goodness for that. All right, so that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have the great rest of your day. Don't know if I'll do anything tonight. I haven't decided yet. Might pop in with a Demolition League game or something. I don't know. Not sure. Or I might record or either do live the Steve Carlton payoff pitch thing. But that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a great day, whatever you have planned. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And we will see you all down the road. Again, Orioles win it over the Red Sox 8-3.